The Bureau of Labor Statistics broke down average expenses into different categories. Housing costs represent about 33.3%, transportation about 16.8%, and food comes in at number 3 at 12.8%. For the right person, the American Express Gold is one of the most powerful cards of 2024. In today's video, we are looking at the basics, some things to watch out for, and some advanced tactics. Big favor, give this a thumbs up to help out the algorithm, and share this with a friend that might be on the fence. Right off the bat, the American Express Gold has a $250 annual fee. Unsurprisingly, this scares a lot of people. One thing I'd strongly recommend though is doing the math and running the numbers. For example, let's say you pay $20 to enter a rodeo, but they give you $10 back to buy food. If you were planning to eat out anyways, then this lowers the effective cost. For the Amex Gold, this comes in two forms. The first one is $120 that works for both Uber and Uber Eats. One big disadvantage is that it's not $120 upfront, it's broken down into $10 per month. If you're someone that has their own car and you only use Uber when you travel, then this can definitely be annoying. The best tactic here is to use Uber Eats and then do pickup. This is the same idea as you calling in a to-go order, but just using an app. The big benefit when doing this is that you do not need to pay a delivery fee. It depends on the restaurants near you, but there might be a bit of a markup. For example, if I wanted to get a Reuben sandwich, then it's $19.85 through Uber Eats. If I did a to-go order from the same exact company, then it's only $17. So in this case, I wouldn't recommend using Uber Eats here because you are paying a 16.8% premium. That's an example of a bad situation, but there are better ones. For example, if I wanted to get a chicken pho, then it's $17 through Uber Eats and $16.50 directly. In this case, it's a 50-cent premium, about 3%. Again, when you're doing pickup, there are no additional fees. It's pretty much what they choose to mark up. There also are some restaurants that might not even mark it up at all. If you order from restaurants anyways, then you can probably value the $10 per month credit between $9 and maybe even the full $10. On the other hand, if you already take Uber, then $10 is $10. The idea being that you're using the service anyways, and it already made sense for you. The other major credit is $120 for dining, and it similarly is broken down into $10 per month. You have a ton of options here, including Grubhub, Cheesecake Factory, Goldbelly, Wine.com, Milk Bar, and also select Shake Shacks. The max value is $120 if you already go to those restaurants anyways. For example, I really like Shake Shack, and I end up going 1 to 2 times a month anyways, especially after a berries class. Even when I fully used up the credit for the month, I might still go to Shake Shack. The other option is Grubhub, where you do pickup as well, so pretty much exactly the same idea as Uber Eats. In that case, you might want to factor in about a 10% markup. Doing the math, you have a $250 annual fee, and if you do discount it by 10%, about $108 in credits for Uber, and upwards of $120 if you value it fully. Pretty much the same thing for dining, meaning that you have an effective annual fee of between $10 and $34. $10 to $34 is pretty reasonable given the other benefits of the card. A big draw is going to be the strong multipliers, arguably some of the best in the industry. You're getting 4x back for dining and also 4x back for US supermarkets on the first $25,000 in spend per calendar year. You also get 3x for flights booked directly with airlines or on AmexTravel.com. For the right person, the American Express Gold is one of the most powerful cards of 2024. If you are considering the card, I'd recommend checking Card Match to see if you have an elevated offer. A lot of people have been able to pull 90,000 points, and we do have a blog post walking through this, which should pop up if you Google AskSebby Card Match. I'll also link it down below. If you don't want to run the numbers by hand, we do have a calculator. It lets you punch in how much you spend and tells you how many points you earn, and also the value of the points given how you're planning to use them. The end result is an expected value based off all the factors to find out if the card makes sense for you. With that said, if you want to learn about this card or pretty much any other card out there and you want to support the channel, we do have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the offers are competitive, that the cards make sense for you, but otherwise, it is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you guys in advance. There is one other credit that I don't really count, and that's the hotel collection. You get a $100 experience credit for every 2-night minimum stay with the hotel collection. This is unlimited use, so let's say you do 5 of these 2-night stays, that means you're getting 5 of these $100 credits. I do have a hard time counting this because other bookings for the hotel collection, let's say with the Platinum card, also come with the credit. You can factor it into your calculus, but for me at least, it feels very incidental. Also note that it's not just for the booking, you have to spend $100 and it's for dining, spa, or resort activities. There obviously can be value, but be careful about overvaluing it. Another big consideration is the value of the points. If you haven't been around American Express cards, it might come as a surprise. So if you want to cash out as a statement credit, you're only getting 0.6 cents per point, a bit more than half a penny for each MR point. If instead you use it for American Express travel, then it's 1 cent per point. If you transfer out to partners, then the value can range by quite a bit. Our target though is 2 cents per point. There also are a ton of numbers in between these, especially if you want to get a Business Platinum or a Schwab Platinum card. Running the numbers, you can see that the gold struggles at that 0.6 cents per point, and it might not make sense. At 1 cent per point, you can get a lot more value, and if you do want to play on expert mode, then you can get a ton of value. A lot of people get confused with this, but it's the idea of taking the bank points and transferring it over to an airline or hotel partner. So let's say taking your American Express, Citi, Capital One, Chase points, or miles, and then transferring it over to Singapore, Virgin Atlantic, ANA, or some other very competitive group. The idea being that the price of the flight ends up being based off the reward chart rather than the retail price. So assuming no promotions, if you want to fly from Western US to Japan, it's going to be 90,000 points for round-trip business class. This is transferring American Express points to Virgin Atlantic and then booking with your Virgin Atlantic points with ANA, which is a partner for them. There is a ton of value, but you do need to do legwork to find availability. Lots of tools for this. Expert Flyer is awesome for specific inquiries and if you are a bit more advanced. At the same time, they don't have a free plan, so it might be a bit tougher. Depending on the program you're looking for, Seats Aero is a lot more user-friendly and better in my experience. It's the one I start with, it's the big net. I'll link it down below, or you can go to AskSebby.com/SeatsAero. It can easily save you 10 to 20 hours, especially if you're using SMS alerts when space opens up. Moving into some advanced tactics, what's the best way to make use of the card? The really cool thing is that you're not forced to run an American Express setup. One pretty easy combination is going to be the Capital One Venture X and the American Express Gold. You have the Venture X as the main travel card, and then the Gold card as the earner. Rationale being that a lot of people break even with the Venture X as long as they do one trip a year. In addition to breaking even, you also are unlocking lounge access for you and up to 4 authorized users. The Venture X can also act as your catch-all card because it's 2x back for everything. Ideally, you're transferring over to a shared partner like Singapore Airlines. The most obvious combo is going to be the Amex Platinum and the Gold. The Platinum being the main travel and lounge access card. Both cards earn MR points, so pretty straightforward. If you're planning to travel in the future, then the Gold can make sense by itself. Tons of optionality here and tons of different paths, but I would lean more towards travelers. Main takeaway, the American Express Gold is a solid card with strong multipliers. It can be surprisingly affordable if you can make use of the credits. It might not be the best fit for Team Cashback, but even then, there is a bit of play. For almost all card setups, the American Express Gold can be a perfect second banana and can be a Robin to pretty much any Batman. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a banana emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 2 questions for you. Number 1, what are your thoughts on the Gold? And number 2, what cards would you pair it with? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, thumbs up, consider subscribing, share this with a friend, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.